Hi everybody, I wanted to go into a little bit more detail about what we learned from DAYZ yesterday. It's the 2nd of February 2020, and yesterday we got the DAYZ in 2020 update from Bohemia Interactive, and a massive part of it for people who play DAYZ on console and play on private servers was this statement here, where they say, we will unlock the server mission folder with full modifications on console community servers. This should give console server owners total control over the central economy and the ability to add custom locations to existing maps. And I kind of made a video about it, but I didn't really explain what it could mean. And so in this video I'm going to talk about what I think this means for us when it happens in 2020, and what it might mean as well. So I'm pretty sure the first bit, but then there's also kind of the pipe dream stuff, because I think there will be a difference between what we get in console and what the likes of PlayStation and Microsoft and Xbox allow us to have, and then what people can do on DAYZ on PC, which is they can do almost anything. But I think you might be surprised about what we can do. So first off, let's talk about this first bit. This should give console server owners total control over the central economy. So what is the central economy, or the central loot economy? Well, quite simply, this is the incredibly complex system that controls where things are in DAYZ, where the loot is, what condition it is. Anything that spawns on the map, so anything that appears on the map, is controlled by the central loot economy. So that includes things like zombies as well, included in the central economy. What type of zombies? Food. What type of food? Weapons. What do the weapons come with? What condition are they in? With zombies, what do zombies have on them? When they spawn in, are they just zombies? Are they zombies with backpacks on? Are they zombies with hats on? Are they zombies with food in their pockets? All this sort of thing is controlled by the central economy and the central loot economy. And when you want to adjust this, basically, this is kind of it. You go in and you'll edit it, probably with a text editor, basically, and you're editing these big long files that have all these little values in them that relate to how often something spawns, its rarity, its condition, things like the fact that certain guns only spawn on helicopter crash sites, and how many helicopter crash sites there are. Or the fact that medical stuff tends to spawn in or around the hospitals and the clinics. So you could even swap around that. So you had military stuff spawning on the coast, and all these sort of things. It's an incredibly complex system, but you could increase the amount of food, decrease the amount of food, increase the count of zombies, how aggressive zombies are, all this sort of stuff to really change the feel of DAYZ. And as I say, you do it by editing these text files, or there will probably be editors available, but generally it's a text file. You go in and you change some parameters. So you can imagine there's going to be, the problem with it is there's going to be all sorts of opportunities to really mess up a server in terms of playability. You could quadruple the number of zombies. Well, all of a sudden, the game's juddering to a halt because the server can't handle 10,000 zombies struggling, wandering around on Chernus or Livonia. So I think what this will also mean is that we'll be able to do things like set custom loadouts on your server. So what that means is you'll be able to say, okay, I want people to spawn in with an M4 in their backpack, or more food in their backpack, or torches, that sort of stuff. And I think that will be very exciting. And also, I think we'll be able to change things like spawn points as well. So where do people spawn in? And all of a sudden, you then have the ability to create things like deathmatch servers, where you can say, okay, so we're going to spawn everybody in. They're all going to spawn at the northwest airfield in Chernobyl, and everybody's going to spawn in with an AK in their backpack and 2 full magazines. You know, bang, start the server, right, let's go for it, and then you can kill each other, and then you can restart the server, and it starts again. Or they die and they respawn somewhere else. So I think we're going to be able to do all this sort of thing, because that would be a nice basic. Well, it's quite complicated, but the whole point of being able to have mods as an admin is to be able to control this sort of stuff. Now, the other thing they mention is the ability to add custom locations to the existing maps. Now, if you sort of do a little bit of digging, you do get you can, in the sort of Bohemia Interactive wiki, you do get these things like terrain examples. So I'm not that clear whether this will mean you can actually add things like extra islands around Chernobyl. There isn't really that many places to add things, I don't think, in Livonia, unless it means you can actually plonk down, say, more buildings in different places, which would be quite cool. You know, a castle in the middle of one of the fields in Livonia. Not really sure about that, and we'll have to see. These examples on this page are islands, and you could very much see on Chernobyl, in the sea around Chernobyl, you know, adding islands, because, you know, it's just the sea, isn't it? You could plonk an island in, and that would work that way. So they're the basic things that I think we'll definitely be getting when it comes to mods on consoles, on Nitrado private servers. I think that's going to be good. And then the pipe dream stuff, which may well be coming, but I don't know, is you can really see that by, if you go to the Steam workshop for DAYZ, you can look at the type of mods that you can download. And these mods, they're a combination of INI files, map files, textures. It's quite a complicated thing to do, to apply mods to DAYZ. But these are the themes of them. So, for example, there's the trader mod, which basically means that it's a mod that enables you to be able to have money in DAYZ, and also enable things like safe zones, where I guess it does it by creating areas where guns don't work, maybe, that sort of thing. The standard currency is the ruble. You can buy and sell items at the trader cities or just relax at the safe zones. So, you know, fascinating. Actually, that picture of that car reminds, you know, maybe like with the central loot economy. In the central economy, you'll be able to have cars that spawn in ready to go, fueled up, that sort of stuff. Imagine how cool that is. So all the cars on DAYZ, maybe you still have the same number of cars, but they've already got the tires on, they've got fuel, they've got a spark plug in, they're not damaged, you can jump in, you can drive them around. That would be really cool. So other sort of PC mods, there's the Stalker map. What are you waiting for? Dangerous mutants, a developed system of interaction with artifacts in the outside world, and multiplayer components, as well as a reliable experience in researching all the corners of the exclusion zone. So this is really changing what DAYZ is all about. So that's pretty cool. Or you get things like Winter Chernobyl, which is a kind of replacement for all the textures and the way that Chernobyl looks. The Weapons Redux pack, so this is introducing lots of weapons that were originally in DAYZ. Also, some mods are a lot simpler. So you've got like Farming Plus. So this is a mod that enables you where you don't have to kill chickens. You can actually catch a chicken in a burlap sack, and then you can make a chicken coop. And you can keep chickens. A fishing mod. This one was obviously introduced before the fishing update. What else have we got? A clothing pack. Adding, what's this one? Doesn't say. Lots of these are in Russian. A cabin mod with a hand water pump. So, you know, there's all these different things. Now, these Steam ones, these mods that you see on Steam, I don't know whether we're gonna be getting these or not. You know, it's very doubtful, simply because they can do so much to break the game if you do it wrong. But it's nice to look through those and think about the things that are coming along. I do, however, think, as they say in the statement, the fact that we're going to have control over the central economy and the central loot economy, that as a server admin, we're going to be able to change, you know, the rate at which things spawn into the maps, you know, in terms of loot and zombies, and hopefully even the weather as well on things like Livonia, and things like things like, I didn't even mention things like wolves and bears. So you could have more wolves, you could have more bears. That's all going to be part of that and how that works. So you'll be able to have a DayZ that is easier to survive, perhaps, because you'll have more food spawning on the coast locations in Chenris, maybe near, imagine you spawn in and near all those little upturned boats. Instead of being one can of food every 3 or 4 of those, imagine there's 2 cans of food for each one of those, so you can get the stuff and then you can move on. So hopefully that explains things, about what we should be getting control of. And as I say, to edit these things, they're basically text files that you go in and you can change elements, or you can download whole new text files. I think that's probably what's going to happen. But when it does happen, I will obviously be making lots of videos about this because it's very, very exciting. If you've got any other insights into modding on PC and how that might well affect console, please put those comments in the comments box down below. What are you looking forward to most in terms of mods for DayZ? And if you've enjoyed the video, hit like. If you want to see more of the same, press subscribe. Thank you very much, and I will see you again soon.